It's the fastest growing ETF in history. Forget in Bitcoin or anything else. Fastest growing ETF in history. By the way, it's not only the fastest growing ETF for the asset class in history, every provider that has launched a Bitcoin ETF has had the fastest growing ETF that asset manager has ever launched in the last 5 weeks. You got $6 billion of capital rotation that's happened, and it's gone off without a hitch. That's very valuable to asset managers because they can understand when they call people up, okay, if you want to put in $1 billion, we can get you safely into this market without affecting liquidity or anything like that in the market, or without driving the price up like crazy, etc., etc. BlackRock and Fidelity haven't even started selling Bitcoin to their clients yet. If you think that by now BlackRock and Fidelity have got all their monkeys on the phone selling Bitcoin to people, it's just completely wrong. Why? We have to go through the staging process. They have to create evidence for the sale. They have to create marketing taglines. They have to create things to allow them to sell the product more effectively. That hasn't happened yet. Now it's about to start to happen. Now you're starting to see the price move up. Now you're starting to see capital get allocated. And this is happening. The question is, are you happening? Right? Where's your brain at on this? Right? Where is the people that you love? Where is their brain at on this? Right? And this is why it's very, very important that you subscribe, because the faster you subscribe, the faster the video gets shared to people that might not have seen this, that might not understand what's going on here, right? Faster it gets shared, faster you share the video, share the link to friends, family members, etc., etc. You can download the video, chop it up, do whatever the hell you want to do with it. I just want to get this message out there because the time is running out. This is what is a really, really good tool and a really, really good marketing thing to say to people when you're on the phone. We're up 7% already from the ETF launch day on this asset. Just to put that into perspective, Larry Fink's ESG products are compounding at like 5.6% over the last 5 to 10 years. So we're already beating that already in the first 5 weeks. We already have the halving, which is less than 60 trading sessions away. So you put all of that together, and here's how the phone call works. Ring, ring, and the client picks up. Hello? Hey, this is BlackRock. Larry wants me to tell you about a new product that we launched. By the way, fastest growing ETF that we've ever launched. We think it's a hedge to your portfolio. We think that it's going to perform quite well. It's performed 70% CAGR over the last 10 years. So if we get you a 1% allocation over the next 5 years, you're looking at that 1% growing to 14%. And overall, Larry wants me to get you in a 1% allocation. The client goes, okay, see you later, and hangs up. While the BlackRock guys, oh, by the way, the asset, hello? By the way, the asset is Bitcoin. Nobody gives a shit. What they care about is fastest growing ETF launch in history, 70% CAGR over the last 10 years, 1% growing to 14.2% over the next 5 years. Larry Fink is behind it. Yes, get me an allocation. They needed these things to start selling the asset, to start coaching their advisors. They needed all of these things. And then you add in the halving coming up in less than 60 days. You add in the fact that you got almost $1 billion of liquidity between BlackRock and Fidelity as the new ETFs on a daily basis, or $1 billion of volume going on. There is so much that was taking time to actually get into place to start selling this thing, and now they're going to start selling it. They haven't even been selling this thing up till now, and the price has rocketed up 20% in a week. What do you think happens when they actually start selling it? What do you think happens when they get on the phone and start running out all of these metrics that have happened over the last 5 weeks? We have not even touched the surface of what begins here, and everyone's excited about price, and I get that, but it's not exciting. Bull markets take off once we breach the all-time high, right? And based on what's going on right now, if the last 4 or 5 days worth of flows continue, within 15 trading sessions, we'll be at an all-time high, right? Even though I've been saying that the price could go up like this, seeing the price go up $2,000 a day is terrifying because of the inflows that are coming in. And by the way, we've not reached asset saturation yet. So what that means is they haven't even got their 1% allocation. So they're sitting there trying to get to a 1% allocation, which means that capital flow is not going to stop. And by the way, it requires $100 billion of purchases to get to a 1% allocation. So nothing started yet. Yes, the price is exciting, and I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for me, and I'm happy for everyone else, but nothing's even started yet. This is not exciting at this point. what you should be focusing on is realizing how many marketing tips or marketing points have stacked up for BlackRock. And the conversation is going to be so simple. It's going to be 1% allocation, 1% of that, 1% of your portfolio will grow to 14.2% projected over the next 5 years based on the assets performance of the last 10 years. And Larry Fink is behind it and wants you to get a 1% allocation. Okay, bye. By the way, what's the asset? Nobody cares. That's the market we're here with right now. So get excited, get strapped in, because if these inflows continue for the next 15 days, you are looking at a new all-time high. And by the way, it's net inflows. It's net inflows, not gross inflows. So if the net inflows continue, right, so everyone said, oh, what about yesterday? The price went down. It's because obviously the net was negative, right? It's very simple. The difference this time is that people who are selling are not selling to other traders and not dumping into the market. There's $200 to $400 million of buying going on a daily basis, and they're sucking that up for their base allocation of 1%. And that Bitcoin will never be available on the market again to try and mess around with, to try and trade with. So this is the situation that we've got right now. It's 5 weeks in. They're going to start selling it now. The price is going to start rocketing. If we look at these inflows over the next 15 days, if they continue, you're looking at a mathematical net inflow of $200 to $400 million a day. You're looking at a new all-time high within 15 trading sessions. And then the true bull market can actually start. Until then, this isn't exciting. All we're doing is regaining lost ground here. So ultimately, despite all of this, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Forget all the excitement, forget what's going on, forget all of this laying up that's going on. Just get to your 1 Bitcoin. It's not even begun yet. You still have time to get to your 1 Bitcoin. Not too much time, but you got to get to your 1 Bitcoin and stop focusing on absolute bullshit. But ultimately, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.